Nothing too hard anyhow, I wouldn't say.
It might be asking you about a few fibs that I've heard you've told along the way, if that's okay.
Okay, that's okay, yeah.
Transfer of the ball falls into Lynch. It goes for it. What a goal from Lynch! Pick it out, stanchion it goes. It's a wonderful finish, a wonderful kick.
Lynch launches it forward, and Paddy Lynch is the furthest forward. Beckons out a goal. Paddy Lynch. That's it. They've sealed it. And what a performance from Paddy Lynch. A day of days for him and for Raymond Galligan and Cavan. That's a wonderful ball into Lynch. Goal chance.
Paddy Lynch. Lynch again. Will it curl enough? It just might, you know. Oh, that is a sweet score.
Super score.
Paddy Lynch, welcome to the Long Haul Podcast.
Thanks very much, Anya. Thanks for having me.
I'm delighted to have you on board. It actually feels a bit strange talking to you because I've known you for like 6 years now, but I feel like we've never actually talked, just always crossed paths, bit of a wave, bit of a high, that's it. And it only took 6 years and we're finally getting a conversation.
That's it. Good things wait a while anyhow.
They do indeed. Unfortunately, in your case, though, it's not always good news. Bad news back in April, but we'll get back to that later on. Just want to go back to 2018 when you first came into the spotlight. And I think that's definitely when I first came across your name, when you togged out for Crosserlough senior team with your home club. Can you tell me a bit about what it was like growing up in Crosserlough?
Well, football is a big thing now in Crosserlough. Obviously growing up, I was fortunate enough, like my age group and 2 years above us, we were lucky enough to like be one Division One the whole way up through Cavan League and Championship. So I've been fortunate enough to be being on these winning teams. So obviously it has been nice. And then obviously in 2018 we went on to win the senior championship. It was the first time I think in nearly 50 years, I think. So I think the last time was my granddad was on the team that won it. So obviously it was nice to bring that home and back to the community. So
Of course, you got the win during COVID. How did you acknowledge that win?
I'm sure anyway that you do it in other years gone by. Like it was no different. Like we went out that night, we had a bit of a homecoming. Uh, like we drove into Killinneck, and like Killinneck was just, it was packed. Like, so it was great to see. Great, like it was all the people that was about for 7 in a row and that, and seeing them cry. Like it was really nice to just come home and see all the emotion and that. So it's something that like you obviously want to do every year is to win it, to bring it back home. And we've been unfortunate now since 2020. We haven't actually won it back. So like obviously the plan is every year is to win it, but hopefully this is the year now.
Well, I hope you know that the tears weren't just streaming in Cavan that day. Dublin, can tell you, Castleknock, they were in full stream coming down all of our faces.
Dead right. I got chatting over there. I think it's the last year or the year before, just in the board's head. So we got a good chat about the win. So it was it was definitely nice to win it.
First year since 1972. Did you say your granddad was on the panel?
Yeah, so my granddad actually won 9 championships with Crosserlough, and that was the 10th one that we won in 2020. So it was a nice one to bring back home. Yeah.
And then following year, lined out for Cavan. Was that always a big dream of yours to play county for Cavan?
Definitely, yeah. Obviously growing up, like you're going to Cavan games and looking at everyone playing for Cavan. So yeah, the goal was always it wasn't a goal, I wouldn't say. It was kind of like I hope I play for Cavan. Like I didn't know at the time when I was underage if I was going to be good enough to play for Cavan. But thankfully then it came in 2021. So Mickey called me in after 2020 championship. So fortunate enough to get in and get started then with Cavan, yeah.
There's one game that really sticks out for me this year. Monaghan, big rival. And that was a game that I think will live in my head. You broke through for a goal and very good save by Rory Beggan.
That's a wonderful ball into Lynch. Goal chance! Beggan is back. I'll tell you, that's a good save because Lynch could see that nestling in the bottom corner, but he's a big goalkeeper to try and get the ball around.
No, it was a great save. I actually I don't think I could have placed it any more into the corner, and no, it was a great save by him. Now, in fairness, he's a top class goalie, and showed it again that day. Yeah.
Nonetheless, you still put in a fantastic goal in the end, and the screams that erupted from the crowd that day, it was absolutely insane.
Launches it forward, and Paddy Lynch is the furthest forward. Beckons out a goal. Paddy Lynch! That's it. They've sealed it. And what a performance from Paddy Lynch. A day of days for him and for Raymond Gallagher and Cavan. They've come to Clonus. A lot of people had them down as underdogs, but they've won, and they've won in style.
You did a fantastic interview afterwards, and apparently you were in the works for man of the match, and if you'd scored 30 seconds before they named man of the match, would have been yours. But Pork Faulkner got the win that day.
No, Pork, I was only with him there earlier today, so I know Pork was a great leader now that day, in fairness. Like when the troops was down, like he came up with that goal, and no, 100%. I said after the game like that, that he was probably the winning of the game that day with either kickouts one and obviously that goal that he scored. So no, he 100% deserves it.
Don't know if you heard this, but I heard Philip McMahon was looking to give it to a Monaghan player.
No, look, I think he gave the begging in the end. Now I thought begging, he was only back as well, and geez, I thought he was very good as well. Like I think he kicked a point from play, and then he kicked a few bombs down the free. So
yeah, no, he's a fantastic goalie. There's absolutely no doubting about that. Got to go on to, unfortunately, very bad news in April. And I think it was a text that was sent around to every Cavan person far and wide. I'm living in the States, and I got about 20 texts. Did you hear? Paddy Lynch did the knee. It was the gossip of Ireland for a few days. So you had a game earlier that week, Tyrone. Fortunately, it wasn't today, but you came back after being down by like 9 points at halftime, brought it back to extra time, lost by a point, obviously went to training later that week, guns blazing, unlucky tackle and training, I assume.
yeah, so I think we played Tyrone either the Saturday or the Sunday. Obviously, then lost that game, so we were off then for 2 weeks because there was a bit of a break, like for the next game. So we're told to go back with the clubs, and then Thursday night at Trend, the last ball, I was just going down to pick it up, and just one of the boys kind of fell from behind me and then clipped my knee on the way down. And that was really it. Yeah. So look, it is unfortunate, but
yeah,
obviously the first week and that was tough. But no, a lot of things like has happened now since that, and like I've really come around to terms. Like it's only like it's something that I can get over, but like some things that have happened now in the past few weeks, like there's people in a lot worse place than that.
Yeah, 100%. At least you're very modest about it. I have to give you that, because you're in your peak performance at the time of the injury. So when you drove back from training, did you know it was cruciate?
Well, like for that 20 seconds after like the initial contact happened, like I was in agony now on the ground, but after that, like I was, but then I got home and I kind of iced it, and like just obviously that like it was in your ACL, and I went to the physio then the next morning, and he was like, there's movement in my knee, so like they do a few tests, and he was like he's hoping for a partial ACL tear, so that would mean just to rehab it and not actually have surgery. But I got in for an MRI then that night in Santry, and I found out then that night that I done my ACL. Yeah.
Can I ask, who was the first person you called?
It was actually Dad. I rang him on the way home. So he was the first one, and then I rang Aegon Fox at the time. So Aegon is our SC coach for Cavan. So yeah. I rang him, but I actually couldn't get through to him. So I didn't know really what to do. So I had to wait for a call back from him, and then he organised the physio the next morning, then organised the MRI then that night, and then that was really how it happened. Yeah.
And it's an injury that unfortunately it must be a Lynch curse, because your dad had the exact same injury 33 years ago while also wearing number 14 jersey for Cavan.
Yeah, so Dad done his opening off Butler's Bridge football field. So uh, I think they were about to play a senior championship semi-final, I think, the week or two later as well. So obviously he was missing all that. So yeah, there's been a few on both sides now that have actually done their ACL. So it just could be something in the genes. So you never know.
For your sake, I hope you don't have any sisters that play the sport, because we got to end this curse right now.
Yeah, I have one wee sister, so please God, she's not doing that.
No, we're going to end a curse for you. We're going to end it. But look, on the bright side, though, there's been numerous stories of players who have done the ACL, like taking the year out of sport, but they've come back bigger, stronger, and fitter than ever.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's probably a great way. Like, obviously, it's not a great thing to do, but you kind of have to try and find positives. Like you look in Cavan there, you look at Grode McCarran and Kieran DeHalla, like them two boys came back and like they were even better than they were beforehand. So like there is positives to it. Like you can work in different areas of your game, and obviously like different things outside of sport like that you wouldn't have the time for. So like it does have its pros and obviously it has cons as well. So
yeah, I'd say you don't miss the commute up to Breffni Park for training from Dublin. I'd say you don't miss that.
Yeah, well, I'm still doing it anyway with the club, and yeah, I'd still go up and down to see them, because obviously like I don't want to like miss it all as well. Like I still want to be involved in it, but obviously like other evenings, like when you're up in Dublin, like it does free you up a wee bit, yeah. So it is nice like not having to go up and down all the time.
So you were actually due to come out to Boston, play for Kerry Donegal as a summer sanction, but unfortunately, due to injuring your cruciate, plans just didn't go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was supposed to go over there this summer, but obviously, it was just depending on how far we got on with Cavan. So like I didn't actually have flights or anything like that booked, so it was just if I had the chance to go over, I probably would have went this summer. So it didn't work out in the end. So.
How did Kerry Donegal in Boston react when you told them you wouldn't be coming out for the summer this year?
Sure. Obviously, were just asking me how I was, because obviously it was disappointed for myself, and obviously they were disappointed for them as well. But look, it's not the end of the world. Like we said, like there's always many more years to go as well. So like it's really not the end of the world when you think about it. Like,
would you come to New York over Boston, or Boston still a favourite?
Well, yeah, I have no real favourite, but yeah, obviously Boston or New York or maybe Chicago. Like you never know.
So can you tell me, what do you miss the most? Obviously, you're not with Cavan at the moment. Can you tell me what it was like going to Cavan versus Mayo and just not being able to tug out with the team?
Well, it was a different experience. Like it's something that I don't like doing, is watching the game anyway when like you could be out there playing. Like it was just disappointing to see the boys. Obviously, we didn't get a performance, so it's disappointing to see that, because like I know myself, like the boys, they're way better than that. And like I thought against Roscommon, like we scored 120, but obviously we came out the wrong side.
Yeah.
So it was disappointing to see that. So but no, definitely there's far more in the boys, and like they know it and everyone else knows it. So just about getting that performance now next year.
Exactly. But the other thing is, Cavan got put into such a tough group this year. You had Dublin, Mayo, and Roscommon, yet none of those teams actually made it to the semi-final this year.
Yeah, no, it's mad as well. Like Mayo and Dublin have been thereabouts. Like, well, Dublin have been there the last few years. And obviously, Mayo have been a great team as well. So obviously, getting into a group with them was always going to be tough. And like Roscommon is a good team as well. Like, no doubt about that. Like they won Connacht titles there in years gone by. So obviously it was a tough group, but like this is where we want to be playing, and that's the only way you're going to get better, is playing these better teams. So yeah, no, it was a a harsh lesson, but hopefully we've all picked up a few things from them.
So Raymond Galligan was your captain for Cavan, and now he is manager. What's it like watching your teammate, who is also your captain, transition into your manager?
When Ray was playing, obviously like you're on a friendship level, and like when he comes in as manager, like you can't be as close and as friendly. So obviously it was different in that aspect, but no, definitely Ray has he's taken to it like a duck to water. Obviously, like when he was captain, like you kind of always said that you could see him in the future being a manager, and it probably not as soon as that. Like, but Jesus, no, he's been great. So he has for his first ever job as manager. So yeah, no, it's all going well, and hopefully it'll get even better.
Have you ever told a fib to him for a reason you didn't want to go to training?
Never to him, no. Maybe to someone else, but never to him. No. It was a few years ago. Me and another lad, I'll not name, but we said we had exams on, but we didn't, and we actually just went away. I think it was in November time or something, and we went away to Madrid. I think it was just for 2 days. So that was the wee fib. It was found out though in the end, so it didn't actually work.
Who was the rat that spilled it? Don't tell me social media did it. Don't tell me you posted on social media and he found out.
No, I actually ended up saying it to him. It wasn't this year now. It was the time. It's the time when Mickey Graham was over. So yeah, I think it wasn't. So it's a bit while back. So I've matured a wee bit since then. So I'll not be doing anything like that anymore.
Few months off training, it'll mature you.
Yeah, thank you.
We're coming to the end of the 2024 Senior Football Championship. So saying that, who do you think will win the 2024 All-Ireland Football Final?
It's a tough one. I was at last weekend's game, so Galway obviously had a great win. I'd love to see Galway win it now. I actually work with a few Galway lads, so I kind of have to say that. But Kerry probably the favourites, but I would love to see Galway win it. Yeah.
Yeah, and your final question. So we obviously always have a player that we aspire to grow up to be. Who was that player for you when you were growing up? Don't say a Monaghan player.
So growing up, I would have. No, I'm not going to say that. Growing up, no, I always loved seeing Dermot Connolly play from Dublin. I would have went up to Dublin Club Championship games just to see him. I always liked the way that he played the game. Like obviously he was over the edge sometimes, but no, he was a serious footballer to watch, and he was unreal. I think he was the best that I've seen play live. So
you're not just saying that because you're talking to a Dublin girl, are you?
No. I actually always loved watching Dermot Connolly. Yeah, no, anyone that has ever asked me that, I've always said him. Yeah.
God, okay, I'll give it to you. I kind of thought you'd say a Kerry player or something, but Dublin, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, no, if I was picking a second, I'd be picking Michael Murphy. Just as a full forward. I loved watching him as well. Then again, David Clifford is a hell of a player as well, and like he's probably on course to become the best ever player as well. So if I was younger again, I'd say I'd be a fan of David Clifford. Yeah.
Well, Paddy Lynch, thank you very much for speaking with me. We hope to God your recovery is going well, and we hope that it won't be too long until you're back out on pitch again.
Thanks very much, Anya. Thanks for having me as well.
Oh, you New York girls, can you dance the polka to me? Why, you Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can you dance the polka? And when we got inside the house, the drinks were passed around. The liquor was so awful strong, my head went round and round to me away. You Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can you dance the polka to me? Why, you Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can you dance the polka?